Well, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Let me start checking here the audio and make sure that everything is running as it should. Thank you for joining today's AMA on web and e-commerce. My name is Daniel with Trepoly. We're an e-commerce development and web design agency here in Denver, Colorado. And today we're going to use this space to answer any questions you may have, whether you want us to talk about optimization of your site, speed, your checkout flows. Maybe you want us to do a live feedback on your website or your store, we can do that too. So thank you for joining, and let's talk about a few things that we have for today. Make sure to drop your comments in the chat. That way, I can see if you have a website that you want us to review. Maybe you want us to look at it on mobile. We can do that. We can do look at your website on desktop as well, and we're going to be answering any questions you may have about BigCommerce, Shopify, WooCommerce, your WordPress site. It could be a service website that you have for your business right now and you want us to look at it. I'm here for you. So make sure to engage and again, use the chat so that I can start reviewing some of your questions and we'll go over them. So let's take a look here, see what's coming up. Um, what are the most common reasons that a website loads slowly, and how can small businesses, including specifically Denver businesses, fix them quickly? So a slow loading website, a lot of times can be a plugin that is hanging. Maybe you have some apps or some integrations where the script is trying to call that resource from the app or from the plugin and it's just hanging. Maybe it's just, maybe the service is down for that specific app or for that specific plugin. So if your site is loading slowly, I would recommend looking at all the apps and all the different integrations that you have on your website and checking, making sure that they're all working. There is a way that you can go to the front end of your site, of your online store, and you can right click and you can go to inspect. And then that's going to open a lower pane on your browser, and right there, there's something called the console. You'll see different tabs. Go to the console and then take a look at, see if you see any errors there. Anything that is hanging, that is broken, that is not being able to fetch a resource, whether it's an image, a video, or some kind of resource from the app, you're going to see it listed in the console as an error. With that in mind, then you can start debugging and taking a look. Okay, where is it pointing to? Maybe it's pointing to your constant contact integration. You'll see in the console inside of your inspection tool if you have any errors, and then you can start to notice what's broken, what's slowing it down. You can also click on uh, run the inspector in real time. Let me take a look here. For example, uh, let's go to a website here, and that way I can tell you exactly what you need to be looking at. So you're going to right click on your browser. You can go to inspect. And once the inspector opens, in this case, I'm using the Edge browser, and you can see the console right there, and everything looks normal, but there's a section on the right where you're going to see, for example, fail to load resource. And you can just go through that list and you can see the URLs for the resources that fail to load, and you can start to debug. And then if you see that it's a specific app or a specific integration, you can disable it from the backend of your website, from the backend of your store, and then save it with that resource off, and then go to the front end and load the website on the web page again, and check on the inspector, check on the console, and see if that error is gone. So that's one of the major reasons why a website loads slowly. A lot of times it's just a resource that is not, hanging. A lot of times it can also be just like huge images. And by huge images, I'm not saying that they look big on your website. I'm saying that they're too heavy. For example, you can save an image, a JPEG or a PNG image file, and PNG could be 2 MB or something like that. And maybe you haven't optimized the image for web. Optimizing the image for web is that's the name or the technical name, but basically what it means is that you're just saving. Once you have your image, your picture, you go to your image editor and you save it for the size that you are going to use, not any larger or any smaller, because if it's smaller and then it's being blown up, then it's going to look pixelated. But if it's too big, I mean, you can do twice the size. For example, for Retina displays, they still, when you have an image of twice the size, it looks very, very sharp. It looks really good. But you don't want to go any bigger than that. Any, 3, 4, 5 times as big as it needs to be. So optimize your image for web. And then videos, we recommend that you upload any videos to your YouTube channel. That way, the way that it downloads for your visitors is it's optimized so that it doesn't slow the loading of your page. So images, videos, make sure that if you're going to host them on your site, that they're compressed and that they're the right size, especially images, and apps and plugins that could be hanging. Those would be your major reasons for a slow website. Let's take a look at more questions here. What should a Denver small business look for when choosing a web design company? If you're looking for a local web design agency, you want to look at their reviews. Go online, just Google the name of the company that you're thinking about engaging. Maybe check 2 or 3 different agencies that you think are a good fit, and read the reviews. I mean, what are other customers saying about their web design services or their e-commerce development services? Are they happy? Usually clients that have a good impression of the agency will go online and leave good reviews. So look at that. If you are interested in hiring a web designer or an e-commerce agency that is local, are you doing that because you're planning on meeting with them personally? Maybe that's one of your reasons. So look at where they are located and ask them if they actually do in-person meetings with their clients. A lot of agencies nowadays, we do a lot of video calls, and they can be just as effective as meeting face to face. It saves you time from having to drive to an appointment. You can also fit in your schedule much easier, if you're out and about and then you just need to jump on a call with the design agency. You can do that anywhere. But we also do in-person meetings with some of our clients. If we can come to their office, or we can meet at a cafe, or you just in person, whatever works. But if you're looking for a local agency, just ask them if they actually, have flexibility on in-person meetings. That would be one of the reasons to select somebody local. But yeah, I'm thinking, look at their website, and you'll be surprised how many design agencies their websites are not very attractive. So that can, give you a little bit of an idea of who you are hiring. Talk to them, definitely set up a meeting, just a discovery call. See if you actually have, good chemistry with the agency and with the people that are actually going to be interacting with you during the process of your project. Ask them about their communication style. Are they only email? Do they do phone calls, text messaging, video calls? All of the above. Just find out what's their communication style and make sure that it matches your expectations too. Um, but yeah, that's what I would suggest if you're looking for somebody local. Wherever you are in the United States, but specifically in Denver, if you are looking for an agency that is local, just go through that checklist and find the right agency for your project. You may also want to ask about the size of projects that they do on a regular basis, if they have experience in your niche, in your industry, whether you're doing a content website or an e-commerce website. As for a portfolio and just the previous experience, um, yeah, I think that would be about the best pointers that I can give you on that question. Um, Here's another question. How do you know when it's time to redesign your website or online store, specifically if conversions have dropped? So ideally, you would like to diagnose the issue of why your conversions have dropped, whether they are conversions, leads that you're not getting as many as before, or if it's actual purchases, like conversion rate on an e-commerce site. If your sales are lower, you will want to diagnose that before going into a website redesign. Because maybe the issue is not with the look and the functionality of your site. It could be something else. It could be that you have dropped in your rankings on search engine. Maybe a competitor has been climbing slowly and steadily behind the scenes, and you just didn't notice that they were starting to take market share from your website. Um, you definitely want to check that your forms, like if your conversion on leads forms are dropping, you want to make sure that your forms are loading correctly. Is there something technically wrong with the form? Maybe. Have you updated the plugin that runs the forms? And maybe that's something that you need to look at. There can be multiple reasons why your conversions have dropped, and doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go and redesign the site. I think that would be what they say, throwing away out the baby with the bucket out the window. It might be a little too drastic to do, or for an agency to suggest a redesign of your website. That would be a big red flag if you say, "Hey, my conversions have dropped. Looking for a website redesign," and they say, "Yeah, let's do that." It's like, wait, as an agency, we would like to first dig and find out why your conversions have dropped. So, yeah, is the form? I mean, let's talk about like a service website. Are your forms working correctly? Did you happen to add recently a new input field to your form and maybe now it's too long? The more input fields that you add to your form, the more friction you're adding, and people will drop out of submitting your form, the more input fields that you add. So, did you happen to add another input field lately? Maybe that drop your conversions. Maybe the form is not clear enough and something is wrong. Maybe you change the colors. You'd be surprised, just changing the color of the submit button can have an effect on the conversion rates of your form. So, always just make sure that you're asking for as little information as you absolutely need to follow up on that lead. Don't add any additional questions or drop downs or checkboxes beyond what you absolutely need to capture that lead and follow up on the lead and convert it down the road. So, did you happen to change the color? Maybe now the color of the button and the text is hard to read. You'd be surprised. Just recently, we advised a client about their checkout button on their online store. That was a BigCommerce store. Actually, no, they're in Shopify. It's a Shopify store. And the contrast between the text on the button and the button itself, it was hard to read. So those kind of things will affect your conversion rates. So did you happen to change that color recently? maybe take a look at that. Are you making it harder to read, and people are just, if they have two or three different buttons like checkout, view cart, add to wish list, maybe their eyes are being pulled to a different call to action than the one you want them to follow, which is the checkout, so that they can convert, they can purchase your product or service. So check on that. That would be another idea why conversions could drop. And obviously, something just mm, more alarming or more critical could be that the checkout page is having some kind of trouble. Is the payment gateway working, 100% of the time or 99.9% of the time? The shipping app or your shipping calculator have any kind of troubles pulling live rates from USPS or from UPS or FedEx, whatever you use? Um, those kind of things you'll want to take a look at. It's important for you as a business owner to run regular tests on your checkout flow, on your contact forms, on even your chat uh, widget. Make sure that you are testing those regularly. I would encourage you to set up a maybe if not a weekly, at least a monthly task for yourself, where you have some kind of notification or whatever you use to keep track of your tasks, and make it recurring so that it's prompting you to, hey, check the contact us form, check the add to cart, check the continue to checkout, and check the checkout page. You as an online store owner, you have the ability to run refunds or void transactions. So make sure that you're doing all the steps all the way to the confirmation page. Just run a test order, and if you need to cancel it in the back end, just do that right afterwards. But set up a task for yourself so that you are checking on them regularly. And if it's not you, then your support team, your tech team, whoever is taking care of the online store on a regular basis, just ask them to, hey, put this on the task list, and make sure that we're running a full checkout flow. Once a month or every 2 weeks, and check on the emails that they're being triggered correctly and everything. But those would be reasons why your conversion rates have dropped. So again, first diagnose the problem, and then move on to a solution. Okay, don't jump into redesigning the website just because your conversion rate is down. I mean, it could have nothing to do with the design. Um, Check on mobile, check on desktop, check on tablets, all the usual testing that needs to be done. But first diagnose the issue. Let's see, more questions. What are the biggest challenges Denver companies face with e-commerce website development, and how can they avoid them? I think a lot of times businesses or business owners may not have the full picture of what's the best e-commerce platform for their business. Um, and the reason why I'm saying this is because not all e-commerce platforms are built the same. Some of them have different features. Some of them are more flexible than others. Some of them have a larger app ecosystem that you can integrate into the platform natively. Um, some of them involve more maintenance. Um, so I would say that's the biggest challenge, because you want to start on the right foot, right? So you don't want to start on the platform that you're going to outgrow, or that you're going to start finding uh, roadblocks or lack of functionalities during that development process. An e-commerce development agency, whoever you choose to work with, they should advise you. They should go through, a checklist and a project description and requirements, and they should advise you on what is the best e-commerce platform for your specific use. Do you need a specific app, or do you have in mind integrating a specific accounting software? All of those details matter when you are choosing the right e-commerce platform to build on top of. It's going to be a big commitment for you as a business to say, okay, we're going to use X e-commerce platform for our business. And you're really committing to at least, I would say, 3 to a 5 year roadmap for developing your business. I mean, it's not that it's going to take that long to develop the online store. Online stores can be developed in a week to 2 months, and something more custom maybe 4 months. But what I'm saying is that you are committing to using that e-commerce platform for a long time. Again, 3 years, 5 years, until you probably outgrow it. I mean, outgrowing an e-commerce platform is not uncommon, but ideally, you should be able to develop the e-commerce store, launch the store, market it, grow it, scale it, and grow your business uh, before you actually need to switch to something more robust or something that has more features or something like that. But plan ahead, and the agency, whoever you decide to work with, they need to really understand what is your roadmap? What is your plan for the next 3 to 5 years to make sure that the e-commerce platform that is suggested to you will support your growth? Um, Even simple things as choosing the right hosting account if you're going to run it on WordPress and WooCommerce. Are you planning any to get massive amounts of traffic because you are very well connected with celebrities and influencers that are going to drive large amounts of traffic? Then the agency that you're working with should keep that in mind, and offer you and suggest to you a hosting plan that will support that kind of traffic. Or if you're going to do it on a hosted platforms such as BigCommerce or Shopify, have those talks with the platform. Hey, what happens when I launch a marketing platform with a celebrity? How does your system handle that amount of that spike of traffic and transactions, and making sure that you are being set up on the correct e-commerce platform from the beginning? That, I would say, that's the biggest challenge that Denver businesses and businesses all around the country face when they are selecting or thinking about developing their e-commerce process. Just making sure that you're starting on the right footing, on the right platform. Let's go to the next question. Remember that if you want us to look at your site, we can do, a drive-by analysis of your online store and or your website, and just drop it on the chat. We'll go and take a look at that. Maybe you want us to see if the messaging is clear, if it's loading fast. Maybe you want us to do an SEO check for you real quick, and type in your most important keywords into a search engine and see where you land. Because every time you run your own SEO analysis, and go on Google and search for your business, it might be a little biased because you visit your site often. But if we do it from our end right here live, I'll tell you exactly where you rank. Is your Google business profile ranking on the map? Are you on the top of the search engine ranking page? Are you on the maybe on the second or the third page, and nobody's gonna find you there? We can do that live. So use the chat. Just tell us about your business. If you have keywords that you want us to run, I can definitely do that. We can even use VPN if you are not in Denver and you are like in New York or LA and you want us to take a look at those rankings. We'll be happy to do that for you. Let's take a look. More questions. Hmm, let's take a look here. How can a business improve mobile conversions without rebuilding their entire site? Okay. So depending on how old your website is and how long ago it was developed, your website and your online store should already be responsive. Responsive design refers to a way of programming and developing your website that allows the design to shift and adapt from a desktop screen to a tablet screen and to a mobile phone screen. That's called responsive design. That's something that we do every single time because we're focused on mobile now. Most of the people are browsing and shopping from their phones. Everybody is in a hurry, and an idea pops in my head, and I just suddenly need new socks. I'm not going to go to my computer, sit down at my desk or my laptop and search for something. I'm just going to pull out my phone and I'm going to look for, who sells the best socks or comfy socks or, socks for snowboarding or, socks for hiking. I'm just going to pull out my phone and I'm going to, do a search real quick. It's important that your site is optimized for mobile. And how can you improve your conversions without rebuilding the entire site? Well, that's the first thing. It should be mobile friendly. Next, you're going to make sure that everything on your site and your store, when I land on your website, that the most important um, images and ideas are right at the top of the screen when I land. You don't want me to have to scroll down to see the important stuff. So look at your site on your phone, and not just on your phone because it might be a little biased, but ask a friend or a relative to pull out their phones and look at your site. Um, does it load fast enough on mobile? You want to make sure that it's loading fast. You don't want people bouncing because they search for the product that you sell or your service. They tap on your link on the search result page, and now I'm just waiting, 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 waiting. Well, something's wrong with my phone. That's the first thing I think, or my internet connection, and I just tap back, and I'm out. You just lost me. So make sure that your website, your online store is loading fast on mobile, and don't check while you're on Wi-Fi because it's obvious, right? If you're on Wi-Fi, your connection is going to be blazing fast. You want to check on the mobile network. So even if you're at your house or at your office, disconnect from your Wi-Fi and check on the speed of your site. Next is, all your product and services pictures, uh, crisp and engaging, and they look good. Maybe, you want to make sure that or check that your product images are updated and they look nice on mobile. Next, the size of your font, super important. If you're on mobile, your screen is smaller. If people are out and about, the sun is shining, you want to be make sure that the text on your website is legible. That is, that it has the right contrast between the font and the background color, and that it has the right size to the font so that somebody could read it without a problem. Um, Keep in mind your demographics. If you're selling products to an older demographic, you probably want to go with a larger font for obvious reasons. Uh, Maybe their vision is not as great as they get older, but that depends on the kind of target audience that you're going after. Next is your buttons. People don't read much. We just scan through, the page, and we want to tap on the first button that we see. So what is that? Is that an add to cart button? Is that a contact us button? Is that a submit button for a lead form? Make sure that these buttons are sized appropriately for mobile devices, and that you can tap on those buttons comfortably with one hand. I'm scrolling, I'm looking at things, and I'm tapping on buttons and things with my thumb, with one hand. I'm not always like this. I don't have to. I'm definitely not browsing like this in 2026 anymore. Um, but is your site easy to navigate one-handed? Look at those. Where are those buttons located? Can you even reach the button with your thumb without having to scroll more? That's going to affect your conversion rates too. And just the checkout flow. Is the checkout flow friendly on a mobile device? You want to be able to add to cart, receive some kind of not or confirmation or pop up that the product was added to the cart, and then right there, can I still tap to continue to check out or continue shopping? Test it. Yeah, just give it. Ask somebody you trust who is going to give you an honest opinion and feedback, and say, okay, go to my site and find X product and add it to the cart and check out. Is it easy? Do you find it confusing? Do you find it hard to navigate on your mobile device? That's going to help you a lot. That feedback, it's incredibly valuable, and you can rely on an agency or an expert like ourselves. Like I said, if you want to drop the link to your website or to your online store on the chat, and we can go and take a look on mobile, well, I'll give you feedback right away. We're very experienced, and we have a lot of knowledge on what works and what doesn't. So if you want to do that here live, we'll be happy to help you. But if you want to do it, in your own time later, just give it to somebody that you trust, and make sure that it's in the target demographic that you are going after, because they'll point out the right things for you and for your website. Let's see more questions. Let's see what else we have here. Continuing on e-commerce, what should every product page include to increase sales, regardless of the platform? That's a very good question, because there are some elements that are absolutely expected by the customer nowadays when they're browsing, an online store. Um, so first of all, good pictures, um, clear pricing. You'll be surprised. You want to show clear pricing, and if you have any kind of bulk discounts, you want to make those very clear to, like, buy two, save 10%. Uh, Product reviews, and make sure that you have the star rating. Everybody is nowadays just looks for the star rating. So don't get creative. Don't get fancy with 5 flowers instead of stars. Use the stars. People are always looking, and their eyes are trained to look for star reviews. So use the stars. Um, so customer reviews, good product pictures, clear pricing, Uh, yeah, on the reviews, the testimonials, um, product videos. I think they're very important nowadays. People want to see the product in action being used, and in that video, don't make it a long video, just maybe like a, say, 10-second video would be good, so that they don't get distracted by something else and they continue to check out. But yeah, just the product being used and what are the benefits of it. People love videos, so something like that is interactive on a product page, it helps a lot. Um, if you can include customer review pictures like they do on Amazon, people like to see how others are using the product that they purchase. Um, Obviously, a good call to action, a very clear add to cart. Um, don't have it compete with any other buttons in your product page. There should be one clear action, and that's add to cart. Down below, product description and features, and just the escaping me, the details of the product, whether it's ingredients or technical facts, if it's like a computer or a device, or a machine. But you should have those below. The first thing is the product image, the price, the add to cart, the reviews. And then if you want to include down below like upsells and cross sales, related products and things like that. But those would be your main elements on a product page to improve your conversion rates. Let's take a look. More questions. What else? Yeah, continue adding on the chat. You can add, your own questions. You can share your website URL if you want us to take a look at that. How about looking at your competitors' websites? And I can give you my opinion on how their website compares to yours. That would be that would be valuable. So yeah, if you want us to look at your competitors, maybe we can even look at their search engine rankings. We can look at AI assistants and how they respond to questions about your brand, or how it compares to your competitors' brands. Yeah, we can do all sort of things here when we're live. So make sure to add all that to the chat if you want us to help you. Um, What are the simplest changes any business can make today to improve their website's user experience? I would go with a chatbot. An AI chatbot would be the simplest change or addition that a business can do to improve their website user experience, because it makes the website feel a little more alive. I understand that it might be an AI chatbot, and we always know when we are interacting with a bot. But just the fact that somebody lands on your website and they start browsing, and you give them a few seconds, and once they're engaged and maybe they're not finding the right information, you have the chatbot uh, display a bubble, or hey, I'm here for you if you are having troubles, or if you have any questions. Just that little nudge of interaction between your website and the user, it makes it feel alive, instead of just, it makes it feel more instead of a flyer or just content on the screen, to something that now is talking to me, you know. Um, I think that would be the single best idea that I would have for you today. Just add a chatbot. There are chatbot apps out there that you can plug into your website or your e-commerce store in a matter of a few minutes. And then your this some of these chatbots you can feed them and train them on how you want them to respond. So you can actually give them a little bit of a personality if and you should and match them to the brand voice that you want to reflect, whether you're fun and light-hearted, or you're a little bit more serious because you're like lawyer's office, or you can tweak them and make them feel to the user as an extension of your brand. You should always customize them, just the basics, obviously. Give them a profile image, customize the colors, customize the fonts and things like that. Don't have them pop up immediately as somebody lands, because then you're distracting them from whatever they were looking. Hopefully they landed on the correct landing page for your website or your online store. So don't pop up the chatbot bubble immediately. And these chatbot apps, they include settings for a delay on when to engage the customer sometimes, or the visitor. Sometimes you can set them to engage the user after they have navigated 2 or 3 pages, where you can kind of assume that maybe they're a little lost, or they haven't found exactly what they're looking for. Then the bubble can come up, or based on time, like after a few seconds, engage the user with, "Hey, we're here. If you need any help." And maybe during business hours, you can have it go straight to a live agent if your business has that capability, or the staff to actually answer to questions live during business hours. You can always have the chatbot start with it, the conversation under the chatbot, and then if the customer asks for a live agent, then the chatbot can transfer that to a live agent if a live agent is available. All of that can be customized. So the one single thing that I would advise businesses today, uh, January of 2026, is implement a chatbot. They're not very expensive, and the chatbot, you can uh, allow it to crawl your entire website, so it knows where to point people to and actually what to answer straight away if a user has a question for the bot, because it will pull information from your contact us page and from your product pages and from your shipping policy. All of that, the chatbot will absorb it, will use it to train itself, and then it can just give answers without the user having to navigate to your shipping policy or your return policy. The user can just ask right there to chatbot, "Hey, I receive my order, but something was broken and I need to return it." That chatbot will be trained on your return policy and answer the user immediately and say, "Oh, I'm sorry that something arrived broken. We definitely want to fix that for you. So please email us and provide the email and provide us your order number, and we'll make it right for you." But it's immediate. The answer is right there. It's not going. The chatbot is not going to answer, "Oh, here, go to our shipping policy to read how to return your product." No, it's just going to answer as a live agent would, because you can train the chatbot and give the answer to your customer right away. That makes a huge difference to the eyes of the customer, to the experience of your customers. So they're going to say, "Oh, okay, now I know what to do," and they'll follow through and do it, instead of having to jump through hoops and trying to find the return policy and reading about it and having questions. Just the chatbot can do that very, very quickly, and it would improve your user experience exponentially. So single best advice for you today. Let's see what else. Well, how are we doing on time? We're about 45 minutes in. If you made it through, the video to this point, and you find the information that we provided useful and valuable, and that you can act on it and you like it, just hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe so that you get notified about the next live stream and the next video. And you need to make sure to check the notification bell. Otherwise, you won't be getting those notifications about when we're coming live and things like that. But we really appreciate you being here. So yeah, uh, like, subscribe, hit the notification bells. There you go. Let's see what else. What other questions do we have? I would love to know if you are in Denver, Colorado, somewhere else in the United States, or anywhere else in the world. Where are you joining us from? Give us a shout out here in the chat. So go in there and share with us. We'd love to know more about you. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns about your website or your e-commerce store, we're here for you. We'd love to help you, and that's why we do these live AMAs. Go ahead and check out the Trepoly website, trepoly.com. That's TREPOLY.com, and it's also linked on the description. Trepoly is an e-commerce and web development company. We can help you develop your online presence from scratch, whether you want to do a content website for a service, or if you want to do an online store, will help you get set up. We'll advise you on which are the best e-commerce platforms or content management software for your specific use case. And we serve clients all over the Denver metro area, Colorado, all over the United States, and we've been very fortunate to have clients overseas, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Asia. We also have support in Spanish, hablamos español, and we will be happy to help you if you happen to be an online or a business owner that is supporting Spanish. We can do that as well. But yeah, we're available to you 24/7. Go to our website, submit a contact us form, or email us at info@trepoly.com. We would love to hear from you. And a lot of times we give a lot of advice for free. If you email us or send us a message and say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. What should I do?" Or I hit the ceiling on my e-commerce platform. What would you suggest that we migrate to? We do a lot of migrations. We do redesigns, and we do e-commerce management services. So we help our clients save a ton of hours every week so that they can focus on what they do best, which is promoting their business and driving the vision for their brand. We take care on everything that has to do with the technical aspects of running their online stores so that business owners don't have to. We do everything from updating inventory to managing plugins and theme updates and security backups, um, checkout flows and optimizations, all the data analytics that you need to make informed decisions, technical SEO, you name it. So what we do at Trepoly is that we're an umbrella of experts, and out of the plans that you have with us, we can do graphic design, like create new banners, new promotions for your online store, for your website, set up coupon codes, set up discounts and things like that. You just tell us what you need done, and your e-commerce manager will delegate those to the appropriate teams within Trepoly to make sure that we're taking care of those tasks for you effectively, efficiently, and with high accuracy, and being handled by experts. The great thing by working with Trepoly is that you don't have to hire an in-house team. You don't have to provide them with a desk and technology and vacation time and benefits and payroll taxes and all of that. We take all of that away from the business owner so that you can hire Trepoly as an outsourced team of experts, and we have all of those specialists available for you. So one month you may decide that you want to use more on graphic design experts, and next month maybe you need more on integrations or on backend development. Whatever it is that you need, we have all the experts, and you just pay a flat fee every month, and we take care of whatever it is that you need, and we can scale with you. We can grow those teams for you if as you grow your business. And it works wonderful for our clients, and you can be anywhere in the world. Trepoly can help you manage your online store you know effectively and efficiently. So contact us today. Our contact information is on the description, and you can always email us at info@trepoly.com. And just to wrap it up, let's see if we have any other questions that we may want to address today. Let me take a look. Let's see. What are the most common web design mistakes Denver businesses make, and how can they fix them quickly? The most common web design mistake. For new businesses, for startups, the most common one is focusing too much on their logo. I know we're all so proud of our logo, and we spend so much time hiding all these different psychological cues in our logo through the color and the shapes and everything, that a lot of new business owners focus too much on the logo, and they have a very big logo on their website or their online store. That's a very common mistake. We always say, hey, you're not selling your logo, it's pretty. Yeah, we did put a lot of effort into it, and it's 10 out of 10. But a mistake they make is just putting too much emphasis or too much focus on their logo, and you'll land on their website, and the first thing you see is their logo, or you're on mobile and their logo is taking 1/3 of the screen real estate. That's a very common mistake for new business owners, and it's easily fixed by just reducing the size of your logo. For established businesses, I would say the most common web design mistake is not checking their mobile usability. Their website may look pretty, but it might not be very mobile friendly. That's another web design mistake they make, is just not checking, not testing it, not coming back to your website and seeing if it actually is easy to use and navigate. So that would be the one thing. Uh, at Trepoly and during these live stream AMAs, we'd love to give you advice on how to overcome those common mistakes. So join us in the AMAs. Share this video with a friend or somebody that that is a website or online store business owner, because they could really benefit from these live streams and from our expertise. Just tell them to come and join the live streams. Obviously, you need to follow us on social media, because that's where we announce when we're going live. We're trying to have this every Thursday. But yeah, share this video with a friend. Hopefully, they can find good insights and good information, and come to the live streams and say, hey, check on my website, check on my SEO, check on it on mobile, or check on it on desktop. Is it clear enough? Are my pictures good enough? We're here for you. We'll love to help you. So thank you for joining today. My name is Daniel with Trepoly. Go to trepoly.com if you have any questions or if you want to contact us, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you for watching.